So it just, I just have this really strong feeling. Like, I feel like it's literally something that, I dare say I call it a necessity, to just, talk with the opposite sex. I just, there's balances to everything, man. There's an ebb and a flow. And I have spent a great deal of time, you know, talking with dudes and friends, not just recently, but I mean, just throughout my life. For a long time, I just wasn't even that interested in finding a relationship because I always just felt so, like, I had so much love for myself. And I remember, I just like the essence of being in love with another is something that's very familiar to me, which is really strange because, I'm somebody who's had very little relationships, really only one real relationship with a female in my entire life. And yet, even to this day, like, I still feel like I know what it's like to be in love with a female and like spend your whole life with them and want to be just with them and think about them all the time, and not obsessively, just like, like, you got to do your thing and that's cool, but just to know that, they're there, and that's the only one you want in that type of a way, and you're totally cool with that, and you can even feel how they feel about you, and to know that that's all that they want from you. And if they don't want that, then at least it's a real enough relationship to where you're going to be able to sense that desire to not to want to be with you, and then you guys can deal with that. And if it's time for you to go your separate ways, then that's fine. But it's like, man, like, I'd love to see and hear, and if any of you guys who watch this are in a really loving relationship, or whatever it is to you. I shouldn't put my expectations of what I think a loving relationship is on anybody, but I'd like to hear more about people that are in really loving, healthy relationships when they can really be their real, authentic self, and they're doing things they really love with their life. It's like, where is that? It's like my boys I hanged out with yesterday. It's like, it's just a lack everywhere. It's like even my own parents. Like, I'm not saying they don't love each other, but there are walls, and there's a lack of real good communication. In my opinion, it's something I've always felt, and I do think they've made progress. But it's just strange to see, people spending their whole lives or decades or years or just time with one another, and it's like, what level of love is it really at? And is that all it can be, or can it be more? And how much does the society we live in affect our ability to love ourselves and each other? And we talk about culture and change, and it's like, I've been overseas, I've been to Europe, like, it's different, and there is more of a romantic feeling, but it's also, it's also very secular, and there's also, they still got the same money game, profiteering thing going on over there. Yeah, some things are a little bit chiller, more relaxed, and I've had some of the most beautiful experiences of my life in Europe. But I've also had some of the most beautiful experiences of my life here. That there is the spirit of Americans, if you want to call it that, or just the people in this land right now. I do think they have more of a adventurous, entrepreneurial, and rebellious, towards the tyrannical fucking powers that be, as opposed to anywhere else I've ever been. People are very complacent. Tropical places, you find a lot of chill, relaxed energies, and people just enjoying the simple life, which is good and great. And in Europe, there's a lot of that too. But here in America, there is a tenacity, there is a fervor, there is a desire for more, and this is why I think we, in a lot of ways, have been hit the most, but it's also because we paid the most attention to it, because we like that allure, we like that newness, we like that something different. And America is, the new big fucking country on the block. This is why I think also the enemy, the opposing forces of love or goodness, whatever you want to call it, have had to come here and implant their seed and infiltrate, fucking at, at a very deep level, and again, it's all about what we feed to it, but I think they put a lot of time and energy into manipulating the masses here because they know that the spirit of America, of the people of this land, is so courageous and so adventurous and so not evil, essentially to their core, that they had no other choice but to come in here and corrupt it. And they also know the way the human mind works. They know if they put strip clubs everywhere, if they put fast food joints everywhere, if they make things fucking easy for people but not healthy for people, that a lot of the human nature has a tendency to go after these things, and then when they get a trend going, it's just that much more easy to herd the flock into those ways of doing things. So, when I talk about things changing quickly, I do think that can happen because that is part of the American spirit, of us being different, of us going with trends. Now, there can be good, healthy trends, just as there's evil trends. So if we can get a trend going that's different and healthy and good and loving, and again, the word of Yahushua is what I've found to be the best blueprint for this. Now, again, I think the way that it's being, nothing against the Holy Bible, I do think it's been manipulated, and I do think it takes away some of the color of life, and it also doesn't incorporate everything as much as, it doesn't even say that it incorporates everything, but some people just tell you just to read the Bible all day, and it's like that's a part of healing and getting to know God, but a lot of the Bible is all about doing works, is about taking care of yourself and others. So there needs to be more of an emphasis on getting shit done, on a blueprint on how we can really help fulfill things like helping the needy and the fucking starving and the sick and the spiritually possessed and the wicked, and literally pushing back these forces of evil. So but I would love to hear if anybody's in like a really loving relationship, I'd love to hear about it, man, because everything that's going on in my life, like I have a calling to really, spend more time with females and get, talk with them, and just, it's like an energetic imbalance. Like I feel like that's a need. Like, how when you get thirsty and you need water, like, okay, so you go find water. So I'm feeling this desire inside myself to want to just communicate, just to get to know them better, because I really don't know them that well, because I haven't spent much time with them, and even though I have this remembrance of being in love, it must be some type of a past life thing, because, even when the relationship that I was in, she professed her love to me, but to be honest, I was never really in love with her. I have this unconditional love for everybody, and that's something I've always kind of had, and I think that's what's made it easy for me to relate with females when I am with them. But essentially to really be in love, like to want to spend, to really feel a connection that, bridges the flesh and the body, and it's based on like the soul and the deepest level of your being, to almost where you wouldn't want to live without them. And I mean, y'all come together, it's a synchronicity that's, untouched by anything else. It's a cosmic currency that surpasses all this other fucking, all the types of relationships in a lot of ways, man, because it's an intimacy that can only be had with another female. I mean, with a female for me, because you can only, there's different, there's a camaraderie that goes with like brothers in arms and, projects and getting shit done, but still to really connect human to human level, like, the whole kissing, the penetration, the sex, the caressing of the body, these are all just other activities that enhance the intimacy of the moment. And unless you're homosexual, you're not going to be doing these things with men. You can do martial arts together and shit, but still, like, even just the distance away from each other is a less of a exchange of energy. It's just a different level. That real intimate moment. That's why, like, creation, offspring, life continues on from man and woman coming together. It's a very sacred thing. And I think a lot of the agendas that know this stuff, and they are literally keeping us, or working to keep us farther apart from each other. It's just sad. So I guess, I'm feeling this desire in my heart, and I don't know exactly where to put it, because I've expressed wanting to speak with Joy, and it doesn't look like she wants to speak with me. I don't even know what she thinks. I just know that it hasn't happened, and that's fine. If she doesn't want to, that's totally cool. I get it. But I do think that Like, there is somebody out there for everybody, man. I do think that all of our souls have the ability to connect and communicate with other souls, you know, and a lot of times it just takes the bravery to speak and to be okay with yourself, and you know, to just see where things go and go with that flow. And if it happens to go somewhere good, then good. And if it's just somewhere where it's clearly you guys aren't gonna fucking link up like that, then that's fine too. But at least you guys got to know where y'all are at, you know. And so like these dating apps and messages I keep getting, like part of me is like, well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe I should just throw myself out there, even being the way I am in the situation that I am, just be open with it. Because to be honest, I would like to find a girl who, not saying she has to be homeless, but if that's the case, that's fine too. But somebody who would at least understand my situation, and you know, maybe have some type of desire to be that way in her heart, because there are good reasons why I've chosen this lifestyle. And I've met other females that talk about how they've always wanted to be homeless. So sometimes I think deep down in our hearts, you know, we desire for these things, but we just don't have, you know, the courage or the bravery, the inspiration, the motivation to do them. So I don't know, I just want to throw that out there that, yeah, I'm, you know, feeling kind of lonely today. And you know, but again, it's like it feels more like for me, like I just know the imbalance. Like it's too much chocolate, you need a little bit of vanilla. Like I feel like I just need more feminine energy in my life. So thought I'd throw that out there. I love you guys. Y'all take care, all right? Bye.